this basic search box, and that's called Primo, and again, if you're at the LibGuide, that's what this introduction to Primo talks about. This is, again, I do this as a landscape of the topic. It does not search every article within every database. So when I have a few keywords I like, I want to go into specific databases. But you don't always know what databases to start with. It's overwhelming. We have almost 600 here. So once you learn more about the specific databases to your field, it will be much easier. But right now, you might be trying to learn what those are. So I'm going to try that topic again. Here, I think I might do an advanced search on that, so I don't have to write out the whole term. So, emerging technologies. Again, I can choose to put that in quotes or not. I can play with it. If you look at this research guide, you can learn about truncation. So maybe what that means is if there's a word, I don't know about emerging, but maybe with manufacturing, maybe there's a term in manufacturing that I don't know, then I can put this wildcard on and it will find similar words or words that go with manufacturing. There's a number of these tricks to play with that you'll just start integrating into your searches. But we'll leave it as this. I'm going to add another line. I'm going to say artificial intelligence. And then that's where I put the or in. And that way I don't have to put it in parentheses. So let's do a search of that. The other thing here is I'd like to go, remember every database is a bit different. So it's nice to look at, whatever the help guide is for that database, which I'll show you. See how some have the date on the side, as you'll see when we do the search. They place the tools in different places, so it's good to familiarize yourself with each database and see how to optimize your search. But I'd like it to be in the last 5 years. Once I learn a bit more, maybe I could broaden it. Maybe I even want it to be the last couple years. So let's see. All right, we have a lot. So it's okay now, but you're going to want to really start to narrow things down. What's nice here on the left is how you can really narrow things down. I might just want this to be articles that are peer-reviewed, other types of materials. Maybe I just want to look at dissertations because someone else has done a lot of work on a topic and I can see what they cited. Conference proceedings could be very current. It takes a publication a while to journal article to be published. Books tend to give history because it takes longer to publish a book typically than an article or a conference proceeding. So, or a patent, maybe you want to see what patents refer to this. So on the left here, use these what's called limiters to get really specific. Another thing that's nice down here, I like to look at the citation source. If I don't know anything about a topic and what database to search topics in, this way I can say, okay, Scopus has quite a bit on this, ProQuest, ABI Inform. So that narrows things down. I wouldn't say that I would check all of these databases. It's just that in time you'll start to learn 3 or 4 that are very specific to your topic. But this tells me Scopus, ProQuest. I don't know that I'd go to these, and I only say that because I know this well. Once you start playing with it, you'll learn which databases to jump into. But take that time to play with it. Okay, so that's the value of looking at that initial search. And if there's a couple articles you like, you can take a look at those and see where they lead. But right now I'm going to go to databases for interest of time. So you see we have 643 databases, so it's really overwhelming. You know, within 10 minutes or so, I've played with Google Scholar and the initial libraries page search. And let's say I found a couple articles I like and they gave me a couple keywords. Now I want to go to specific databases. I could go to all subjects and go by topic, and I would go to engineering and technology based on this, or I could go to the letter because I saw Scopus or ABI Inform would be good databases to start with. Say this technology was in education, then I want to make sure I go to these ones on education and see how education source is different than ERIC. Just drop in keywords and play with it. For now, I'd say we're mostly engineering and technology. Engineering Village would be a good one. I saw Scopus had a lot of articles. The ones in yellow are the most used, ones we recommend. Of these, I'd say the Technology Research and Scopus, possibly IE, Engineering Village. So these are several you saw in that first search, and you see that they're popular because they're in the yellow. You could look at ABI Inform to do your search. So now I've narrowed it down a bit. So let's take a look at the ProQuest me. Let's see. And pop those terms in. And again, I could do an advanced search, so I don't have to write out the or statement or write it out. But I do think I will do this. And again, maybe you don't want it to be A. Maybe you're finding it's not totally the direction you want to go, but now I know a database I'd like to go in, so let's start with it more generic and see. It's pretty large, so I probably would say AI, or from my initial search, if I found a couple technologies, specific AI technologies, then these databases is where it's good to use those very specific terms. And again, you have your limiters on the side. You can work with date. Maybe you just want journal articles. And let's just say I liked this first article. What's nice is I can look at, they have some recommended articles. So if I liked this one, maybe there's some recommended articles. Now I have one or two good articles. I can look at the abstract, see if it is pertinent. If it is, they've got what's called subject terms. And again, if you go to your basic search and look at this research guide, it talks about the difference between keywords, subject terms, index terms. Keywords are what we just thought of, that we think are popular, and then we honed it down based on looking at articles. Subject terms are how words chosen from Library of Congress, how to organize these articles. It's very specific. It's a human intervention using these terms to organize the articles. So there might be some good terms here that I think are better than the keywords I've been using, and I use that in my search. The other thing I can use is if I click on the article, then I can see, who what citations are used in this, although this is not a good example. But, let's see, typically there will be articles, let's see, who the author cited in the articles. Aerospace, see, this is very specific. So if you can look back and think about Google and the general library search, it wasn't typically as specific. But again, depending on your database, that's it's going to specialize in a certain area. So if I go back to my databases, And I'll wrap this up quickly. I'm just having there's the computer, the search is slow right now. But I remember Scopus from that front page. A lot of articles were in that, so I can go directly to Scopus. Oh, here, this was left in there when I was looking at before. And plug that in. It's a much smaller result, 99, and again, look at how specific it is. This might be a good topic, this might be a good article right here, something about a management perspective. I'll click on it, find it at Purdue to get the full article. Again, related documents, abstract. Here they have keywords that might be better than the keywords you're using, might be more specific instead of subject terms. Within this, it talks about, it shows what articles were cited in this article, and it gives a citation. Like I said, just like Google Scholar, which is really nice. I mean, look at how many times this is cited. That tells you not only academia, but possibly industry is citing this article, and it's important. Oh gosh, well, it's from 1969, so that's probably why it has so many citations. But again, it might still be referenced in the field. So that's a brief sample of a search. I encourage you, again, to hone up on some skills, some recommendations on how to do a effective search. And please, again, feel free to reach out to me for any help. You can schedule an appointment with me, and I'll send you a WebEx invite, and we can walk through it together on finding some good keywords and how to combine them, and some specific databases if you're having trouble. Okay, thank you. I look forward to talking with you.